Well, today it's another AKD radio for radio amateur use, and this time it's the 2001 model, which is the 2-meter one. We did the 4001, which was the 4-meter one, covering the 70 meg band. This is 144 to 146 megs. And I'm just rustling this new microphone because it's a radio that I bought off eBay a few years ago. I've never touched it. In fact, I've never used 2 meters. I've been licensed for 41 years and I've never used 2 meters. I'm a UHF person, and that's my kind of thing. So, right. That'll take some working out. 97 channels seem to be programmed in. So, we'll be setting this up on a simplex channel. Probably set it up on 145.5 if I can find what that is. So looking at that, it looks like the serial number is actually 629. It's probably 1995 made. So it is an early one. And what I've liked about these, what the attraction was, is they're more like a business radio. They don't have loads of displays and things. It's just on a volume, squelch and a channel, and that suits me down to the earth. So we'll get it connected up to the test set. This is one that allegedly worked. In fact, I'll take the lids off first. It's one that allegedly worked off eBay, but everything that you buy off eBay allegedly works, and most vendors, works means it lights up. So that's the wrong lid. We can see in there that it's got a Mitsubishi output device. I think these radios are supposed to be 25 watts. Yep, 1946A, 2SC 1946A. Okay, we'll take the correct lid off. I'll just pop that on loosely just to stop me from putting it down on something. They're all plastic case, these sets. Very clean layout. Issue 2 it says. And then we have a 2SC 1971 used as a driver transistor there. And everything's going to be in this EEPROM. So we've got a crystal filter there, we've got a ceramic filter there. A relay there, VCO is going to be there, and the oscillator, which we're going to set the frequency with, is no doubt there. So we'll power it up and we'll see what happens. It's come on channel 20, and I want it to be, it's probably about where we want it to be, somewhere between 8 and 23 is where I wanted it, so that's probably his calling channel. So as I say, we'll connect up the aerial to the test equipment. This is a brand new standard mic from stock, so that should be what's required. I'll switch to picture in picture and then we can both see at the same time the power meter. So that's doing 2 watts. It's doing 2.5 watts on whatever that is, and that's on low power. So we'll change range on the test set, and it's doing about 10 watts. It's on 145.5. 502 something or other, so that's out off frequency, isn't it, by quite a long way. I would think that's what we're going to be setting. I'll just move the wrong camera, I always do that. I'll just move the other camera across to the frequency display. That didn't register. Go. So 145. I think that should be 145.5 dead, because that will be calling channel. I'll just take it up a channel, channel 21. And 145.55. Yeah, for some reason it's high and crystals drop with age, so I think it's had finger trouble. But nevertheless, we can soon trim that. Try doing it with the ceramic tool. I'm putting pressure on the component. It's different when you're touching it to when you let go of it. I'd rather have it slightly higher than low. Wow. Yeah, well that'll do me. Right, we'll go through the transmitter. And I would think that without any information in front of me, we're going to be there, and then I would think we're going on to those 3 trimmers there, and that will be it. Because I don't even know what power it's supposed to be. I don't think it says on the bottom, does it? So it is 10 watts there. I'll just put the camera back to the meter. So it's 30 watt full scale deflection on the meter, and so we're at 10 watts, so we're used to doing CBs at 4 watts there. So we are doing 10. It's probably a 10 watt set. I don't know. We're going to look it up, and I will tell you all. So this should be transmit. I would think it is. Yeah, that's sorted that one out. So we'll just go for these trimmers. 12 watts. Huh. And that did more than 50. Oh, whoa, we're there. Whoa. So about 16 watts there. Okay, so 17 watts is better than the 10 it came in with. Yeah, it's probably supposed to be 25 watts. It'll probably be a bit nearer that when it's cooled down. I'll just see what voltage one, because the meters on the power supply aren't brilliantly accurate, because I'm using a bigger power supply than the normal 2.5 watt amp one we use for CB. So we'll just measure that. .65, that's near enough. Right, I'll pop that down back to channel 20, which is 145.5, and we'll set that into the signal generator. I don't think I've had the signal generator on 2 meters either. Right, plug in the extension speaker. Oh, we need to do deviation. So we'll just get the oscillator. So it's going to be, spacing is going to be wider. It's going to be looking for 4 point something deviation. Wallow, and that's exactly where it is. That's exactly where it is. So that's fine. Where is the deviation control? Probably the only. It's there. It's just where it was in the 4 meter version. So that's it. So that's set. We'll go back onto receive. Just need, as I was doing, I'll plug the extension speaker in. I'll just set the signal generator to something near. There we go, 145.5. So we'll move this camera onto the oscilloscope. Not with that button, we won't. And we'll look at recovered audio. Now I'm going to need to turn the deviation up on my test set because we're normally running at 1.4, but because we're now doing wider spacing, it needs to be up. So it's about 2.5. Okay, so now that'll be the detector. No, that was fine, it wasn't out. Okay, so now listening to 0.3 of a microvolt, that sounds great. So we'll move the meter onto, we'll move the camera onto the SINAD meter. We'll set that signal, so we've got about 0.4, sorry, so we've got 4 decibels there on the meter. And then we'll go through the front end. Okay, the hexagonal. We have gained, the first and the last had a very slight improvement. That's it, I think we're there. So let's get some SINAD figures. See how it compares with the 4001 model. So we'll do the 20 dB one, and that is giving us, well, that's all right. That 0.75 microvolts. That's very good. In fact, a lot of new sets it's around about 1. So now we'll try and get a 12 reading, which is the kind of industry standard. 0.25 microvolts. We'll have to change ranges to get a 10. .22. So I think that's more sensitive than the 4 meter one. Just have a look back at the notes. Oh yes, we've got 1 microvolt for 12 dB, got 0.25. This is far more sensitive. Great, that's going to work nicely. So there's no adjustment for the squelch, but we will just check it works. We're going to put the squelch to full, see when it comes in. Yeah, it comes in at 0.3 of a microvolt. That'd be no good on CB, but on amateur radio it's fine. And we'll just look at it at the most sensitive point. It's coming in at 0.4 of a mic. No, hang on, I got that wrong. It's coming at 0.13 of a microvolt and going out at 0.07 of a microvolt. So that's absolutely incredible. That's a very impressive setup. So clearly it is supposed to be a 25 watt radio. I'll just flick it back onto transmit now it's had the opportunity to cool down, and let's see what we're getting with a quick burst. Yes, it's about 17. Good. Well, there we are. So I can't put it on the aerial in here because we don't have an aerial for 2 meters. So we'll do an on-the-air test with Mr Chippie later on, and we'll put that on the. We've got a Diamond X50 collinear aerial, which is not that high up because there's a single-story building there, and we'll see how that performs over the usual range test route that we use for CB. So very basic, and program with 97 channels allegedly. Let's go downwards and see what happens. Yeah, program with, that's it. That's supposed to take you back to, I thought that button's supposed to take you back to the start, which is channel 20, and channel 20, just to remind ourselves, is 145.5. There you are, the AKD 2001. These are discontinued, but they do pop up on eBay, and this one looks to me to be 1996. So I'm hoping it's going to do quite nicely on the air with sensitivity like that. And we've got a radio net tonight, and they're going to use 2 meters, and so I thought we'll get this serviced, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and get it done. Now I've got a 77th version of this. I haven't got the 6 meter one, but I've got the 77th one, but I'm not quite sure where that is at the moment. And as I keep saying, we've got building work going on here, and lots of things are packed away. I think there's the 68 18 litre very useful boxes in an outbuilding here, you know, full of stuff that we would normally have in and around the place. So it not got everything by a long way. So thank you for watching the AKD 2001 2 meter FM amateur radio.